First at 4, we're tracking the damage done by Hurricane Irma. The island of Barbuda took a direct hit. The Prime Minister says the entire island has been decimated. He estimates recovery could take months, if not years. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. Leaving destruction behind, Hurricane Irma is heading toward Florida. Take a look right there at the traffic on Interstate I-75 in Ocala as millions are trying to get out of the Sunshine State. Let's get to Ben Bailey for an update on Irma. Ben.
Yeah, we knew that would be a headache evacuating, but it would be worse to stick around. And this is why Irma is still a massive Category 5 storm headed directly towards the Turks and Caicos. In Florida, hurricane watches went up earlier today. You can see those pretty much extend all the way around the Florida Peninsula, including Lake Okeechobee and also the Florida Keys. And so everybody in South Florida is trying to decide whether to hunker down or rather to get in the car and try to get away from Irma, as that storm is expected to make landfall somewhere around the southern part of Florida this weekend. Our Kristen Holmes is live in Miami as preparations are coming to a close. Kristen?
Good afternoon. As Hurricane Irma heads closer and closer to the U.S. coastline, President Trump has just signed an emergency declaration for the state of South Carolina. And here where we are in Miami, they have just expanded the evacuation zone. Some 650,000 people are expected to be affected by this new expanded evacuation zone. And as they head forward, there are 8 shelters open, with 4 more expected to open this afternoon. Hurricane Irma is displaying its brute force in the Dominican Republic and Haiti, pounding parts of the region with sustained winds of 180 miles per hour. This comes one day after the storm ravaged the Caribbean, leaving extensive damage in its wake, including in the island of Barbuda.
90% of the homes have been decimated. It's a real sad situation. It's a natural disaster of unprecedented scale.
And residents here in the state of Florida are watching closely. Long lines at gas stations and grocery stores, people boarding up their homes, and in some cases, preparing to evacuate.
We cannot protect you in the middle of the storm. This means you need to plan now on where you need to go. Do not wait. But
gasoline is already in short supply. Officials in the state say at the moment that's a top priority.
We desperately need gasoline, and that's what I fired off an email last night to the head of FEMA to see if they can get gasoline into the state, because they're running out.
Irma may force one of the largest evacuations ever in the United States. A hurricane watch already in effect for parts of southern Florida. But the timing and the track of the storm is still unclear. That's why officials want everyone in the state to be ready as soon as possible.
Get prepared now. This storm has the potential to catastrophically devastate our state, and you have to take this seriously.
And Governor Scott is acting as though gas is a top priority because of this lack of fuel situation. There are several things in the works. He says the state is working with oil companies to try to get gas to these stations, as well as weighing an option of whether or not to actually escort fuel tankers to service stations to make sure there is enough fuel for those people who are trying to evacuate. Reporting live from Miami, I'm Kristen Holmes. Now back to you.
All right, thank you, Kristen. Florida isn't the only state that could be in the storm's path. Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina are also on alert at this hour. We're seeing long lines at gas stations in Albany, Georgia, as residents start their storm preparations. This afternoon, Georgia's governor issued a mandatory evacuation order for the city of Savannah and other coastal areas. That goes into effect on Saturday. Hurricane Irma also hit the island of Puerto Rico, leaving about 900,000 people without power. The island's 14 hospitals had to use generators. Trees and light poles were pulled out of the ground and tossed across roads. Even worse, the island could be without power for up to 6 months because of a weakened infrastructure caused by the country's severe money problems. Now, it's clear the storm is already doing a lot of damage, and we're still trying to pinpoint exactly where it might strike in the U.S. mainland. Let's get back to Ben Bailey for a more detailed look at the storm's possible paths.
Yeah, Karen, unfortunately, we still have a lot of questions as to what this storm is going to do when it gets to Florida, and it likely is going to get to Florida sometime this weekend. 2 o'clock advisory out with 175-mile-per-hour winds. If you've been following Irma, you know that's slightly less than the wind speeds we were looking at yesterday. Still a Category 5 storm, and is expected to maintain significant strength over the next couple days. 8 a.m., it's going to be already through the Turks and Caicos and setting its sights on the Bahamas. And remember, it's that right front quadrant of the hurricane that is the most deadly with winds and storm surge. And unfortunately, the Turks and Caicos and the Bahamas are going to be on that side of the storm. It starts making the turn here once we get into Friday night around the Bahamas. Saturday morning, still at 155-mile-an-hour winds in a Category 4 storm. And then the big question becomes, where is this going? The center of the forecast track does have this pretty much making a beeline to Miami. And then this is 8 a.m., so right around sunrise on Sunday morning. 145-mile-an-hour winds skirting up the coast of Florida and just raking the coast is what I should say. Probably reemerging into the Atlantic and then making a second landfall somewhere there between South Carolina and Georgia, and then finally falling apart as a tropical storm. This is Tuesday at 8 a.m. This will have some impact on our weather. We'll talk about that and, of course, our evening commute coming up in a few minutes, Karen.
Thank you, Ben. The arrivals area of Metro Airport very busy today. Many families are fleeing Irma, heading home to Metro Detroit or taking refuge here. Mark O'Hagan was in St. Petersburg this week and cut his trip short to avoid any problems on the roads or airports getting home.
That's all we talked about for about 4 days at the hotel between us, sharing ideas. Is it coming up the middle? Is it going to get pushed to the East Coast? Is it going to stay in the West Coast? Because I have a property in Marco Island as well, which is by the Everglades in South Florida. So concerned about that one, but I'm glad it's moving to the east.
Now you're back safe and sound?
Safe and sound, ready to go.
Live at 5, Sean Lay is with a family from Miami with ties to Ann Arbor. They'll describe that scene today in Miami. Then at 6, Sean is with a stressed out mom who is getting her young daughter out of Irma's way by flying her here. Personal stories you'll hear only on Local 4. Next week, Local 4 is joining forces with the American Red Cross and Art Van for the Help for Hurricane Relief Telethon. We've already been raising money for storm victims in Texas, and now more fellow Americans will need our help. So make sure to join us Tuesday, September 12th from 6 in the morning to 8 in the evening to help with this effort, as this hurricane season is only getting worse right now. Breaking right now, multiple area fire crews are assisting Washington Township Fire Department in battling a 2-alarm house fire. Sky 4 was there as it all went down on Hidden Oak Lane near 31 Mile and Campground. We are told there are no injuries to report. Breaking news also on Detroit's west side. That's where police are on the scene investigating a 3-car crash that left one person dead. It happened at West McNichols and Oakfield. Police say an elderly man was driving a red pickup truck when he suffered a fatal heart attack, causing him to lose control. The man crashed into a sedan and an SUV. The vehicles then jumped the curb, hitting a pedestrian. Officials say there was no one in the sedan, but both the driver of the SUV and the pedestrian are in serious condition at this hour. Remember the story of the police chief in Memphis, Michigan, who was looking to do his job long distance? Well, he did move to Grand Rapids. Chief Caloria, a single father who wanted his only child to attend his alma mater, he was willing to take a pay cut to make it work. Now, some felt he's done a good job and were willing to give the idea a try. Others want their police chief closer to home. Well, now he has decided to resign, pulling the plug on that idea. We're going to hear from the police chief and tell you what happens next on Local 4 News at 5. Dealing with grief and loss is always a challenge, and we're not just talking about losing a loved one. It can mean losing a job, failing at school, all taking an emotional toll. Today, Paula Tubman introduces us to a local woman who was shouldering a world of pain and disappointment, who found the beginnings of relief in a most unconventional way.
You know, there are going to be people who dismiss this absolutely immediately, but everyone who came into this room today had hurt or grief or they were troubled. We all are troubled. Carrie came to this place carrying so much sadness and guilt. For years, she's believed she is responsible for her son's disability.
It's Luke. It's changed my entire life. I used to have a beautiful business, and my life was just different.
Within an hour, much of that guilt and grief would begin melting away under the skillful guidance of psychic medium Thomas John and spiritual advisor Belinda Phillips.
So we're all going to have everyone take their hands and have them about 6 inches apart. And imagine like there's a rubber band all the way around your hands.
The two have teamed up to teach others how to tap into their own innate psychic and intuitive senses, to read the signs we're ignoring and amplify our small inner voices we often refuse to listen to.
So we have people we can pull on. We have beings that want to help us, okay? When you are in grief and loss, your intuition can actually help you a lot because it can guide you through this process, and it can also help you to build a connection.
And we remove the belief that any loss you experienced is your fault. And if you agree, say yes.
Yes. The two psychics connect these 11 strangers to one another with a series of exercises.
Visualize your physical body.
And then they teach our volunteers how to tap into themselves.
Circumstances and experiences of our past, our ancestors' past, that cause us to see the world in an untrue way or believe untruths about ourselves. And so it keeps us stuck or blocked or sick.
I'm seeing smoke.
If you observe things and move energy, you can actually create a different reality.
They believe shoveling the garbage from your inner spiritual nervous system creates air around your soul, and oxygen in any form is healing.
I feel like I want to bring up California with your dad. He's just telling me too that sometimes there just will be feelings, okay? And you need to train your intuition. So that's part of what we do in the workshop is we use different techniques to start to tap into that and kind of charge that up.
So it feels amazing. It's unexplainable. It feels great. I'm grateful.
Thomas and Belinda are actually going to be teaching a series of workshops to teach you how to do this yourself if you're interested. You know what, I'll just put a link to their website so you can get the information on my Facebook page, Local 4 Paula Topman. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Paula. And Thomas John will be in Detroit next weekend for several local events. As Paula mentioned, we'll put links on her Facebook page if you're curious about the process. Still ahead, here first at 4, a new twist to online dating. It's a new corporate partnership that just might help you find a new partner. Also ahead, the celebration in North Korea sending a message to the world and to President Donald Trump. The latest on the tense nuclear standoff. Up first, Donald Trump Jr. faces questions on Capitol Hill, what he says he was trying to learn about Hillary Clinton from a Russian lawyer. We'll be right back.
Coming up all new on Local 4 News at 5 and 6.
Snickers, Kit Kat, M&M's, man, a Nutter Butter. Who doesn't love a Nutter Butter? Well, one guy's sweet tooth might land him in prison for life. We'll explain all that.
Donald Trump Jr. in the nation's capital today as a Senate committee continues the Russian investigation surrounding his father's campaign. According to reports, Trump Jr. denied colluding with Russian government to meddle in last year's election. He reportedly told Senate investigators that he set up a 2016 meeting with a Russian lawyer after being promised damaging information about Hillary Clinton's fitness to be president. Trump Jr. claims he wanted to at least hear them out. First at 4, we're on top of stories making headlines around the world this afternoon, including a big celebration in North Korea that sends a defiant message. The world has seen this video for the first time of a massive public celebration of North Korea's latest nuclear test. This is definitely not a sign that North Korea is looking to back down. Instead, it remains defiant against the U.S. and other countries, calling for an end to the country's nuclear ambitions. Meantime, the United States and South Korea are teaming up to add 4 more launchers to a controversial missile defense system. The system is called THAAD, and it's designed to shoot down any missiles fired by North Korea towards the south. Some people have environmental concerns about the system, but the simmering tension with North Korea has sped up its deployment. And Ben is back with a look at the weather. seems like things are warming up a little bit. It seems like it's a chilly start to our day, and then are you laughing at me?
Well, I mean, technically you're right.
Doesn't it seem a little, I don't know.
Technically you're right. We are still well below average.
Oh, we are.
And it's going to be a little wet out there too. And we'll get to that in just a second. I wanted to show you the latest visible satellite from Irma. And this is incredible. You can see these 1-minute photos. The eye wall just now starting to reach some of those Turks and Caicos Islands. And you can see right down into the storm as Irma remains a Category 5. We were talking about the track of Irma earlier, and I wanted to show you the computer models, which if you've been following us in the last couple days, last night at 11, all these models were actually clustered a little bit closer together, and they were further to the east. Now they've started to move back to the west. So when we show you that forecast cone and you wonder why it's so wide in days 3, 4, and 5, this is exactly why. The model's now starting to shift back a little bit more, but you can see pretty much all of them have this storm headed right towards Miami. The forecast track is also a little bit further west as it moves up the coast of Florida. Now some of these models expecting it to make landfall in Georgia instead of South Carolina. And then after that, we'll probably have to deal with what's left of this storm. By Wednesday morning, it's going to be hanging out somewhere in the Ohio Valley. Eventually, it'll be turning to the right, to the east and exiting. But it is going to be a lot weaker. The only thing we'll probably see out of that is probably some showers and definitely some clouds. And we've got some rain on top of us right now, and even some lightning strikes out there too. Thunderstorms definitely in our west zone and now starting to move in closer to 275. You see a couple of these downpours in parts of Wayne County, and those lightning strikes are out there as well. Not really anticipating any severe weather. Maybe some downpours, possibly some really small hail, and that should be about it. That looks like one of our strongest storms coming out of Fenton in western parts of Oakland County. There's still more rain to go. In fact, this is not going to be like the last couple days where everything dies out before the sun goes down. We'll probably see some of these showers rotating through after midnight tonight, but we are looking for a mostly dry day tomorrow. Rain really cooling things down where those showers have happened out there in our west zone. 50s there. The rest of us in the mid 60s right now, and we're really not going to get much warmer in the coming days. We're going to have to wait till the later parts of our forecast to get some warmth in here. So by 9 o'clock, you can see that yes, we still have some scattered showers, and there'll be sort of a reinforcing push of wet weather overnight. By tomorrow morning, we should be dry, but the east side, you're going to see maybe a chance of a shower as we get into the afternoon and midday and afternoon tomorrow. Most of us should stay dry on Friday. These are low temperatures tonight. Some lucky folks will actually get to the just at 50 degrees, but most of us are going to see the 40s for overnight lows. Onstead, Milan, 49 degrees. Tecumseh at 49 as well. A little bit more cloud cover around, so not much of a range in these temperatures. 47 to 49 out in our west zone, and north zone temperatures are going to be in the 40s as well. 7-day forecast will warm us up into the 70s once we get into Sunday. That's when we'll start to see the first 70, but still not even the average as we head the mid 70s on Monday and Tuesday, and the effects of Irma start rolling in at the middle of next week. Karen?
All right, thank you, Ben. Still ahead, would you let Alexa play matchmaker for you or someone you know? A surprising new partnership in online dating. Up first, the backlash over this video just will not subside. What the chief of police is saying today to calm the controversy. After thousands of outraged emails and social media posts, the chief of the Salt Lake City Police Department is responding once again to the controversial video of a nurse's arrest. Now, you've seen the video here on Local 4 of an officer trying to force that nurse to obtain blood from a patient without probable cause, consent, or warrant. The chief now says not putting the officer on leave was a mistake.
Here's the bottom line. We don't want this to happen again. We really don't. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. It wasn't corrected. We didn't know. We acknowledge it, we fix it, we move forward.
That arresting officer and his supervisor could now face criminal prosecution. All right, let's talk about today's trending stories. All the single ladies and men, would you trust Alexa to play matchmaker? Amazon is teaming up with the dating service eHarmony so that you can use voice-activated devices to check your dating profile, check your messages, and see who has viewed your dating profile. We are told Alexa has even been programmed to say things like, "What a catch," and "He seems great." Dating advice from a device? I'm not sure about that one. Also, it is the first day of school for Britain's little Prince George. His father, Prince William, brought the 4-year-old to his school in South London today. His mom, the Duchess of Cambridge, couldn't be there because she is still suffering from acute morning sickness. The royal family recently announced Kate is pregnant with the couple's 3rd child. Prince George is 3rd in line to the throne after his father and grandfather, Prince Charles. We'll be right back. Finally, first at 4, if you're looking for a good excuse to open an after-work beer today, it's your day. Did you know it is National Beer Lovers Day?
Some of us don't need an excuse, but if you do, no matter how you like your brew, dark, light, bottled, canned, or on draft, there is something for everybody.
In fact, if you want to join in on the festivities, take a photo with your favorite beer, post it to social media using the hashtag National Beer Lovers Day. Thanks for joining us for First at 4. Inside Edition's next.